Hey, what's cracking everybody? Welcome back to Computer Games Hardware. It's that time of month again, guys. We've got a new Adrenalin Driver edition out, 24.3.1, and this just hit the other day. I just installed it right now, so let's get stuck into it. First up, we have some game support for Dragon's Dogma 2, and this title has been pretty controversial. It reviewed pretty well, but after the reviews came out, Capcom decided to add microtransactions in. And they're not just any microtransactions, they are like fast travel, better weapons, different clothing types. So there's like pay to win stuff in there, so people are currently review bombing it on Steam. Not to mention that the PC port has gone down like a ton of bricks as well. So this one is pretty disappointing for some folks, particularly for all those things where they're saying it's actually, the base game is pretty good, but it's just these things that have like irked people the wrong way. And that really annoys me when they do that, like add in microtransactions after the reviews come out because they know that they're going to be criticized for it. It's like, if you know enough to wait for the reviews to come before you put the microtransactions in, maybe that should be your cue not to put them in. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. You can only have one save as well, so it's not ideal for Dragon's Dogma 2. Anyway, there's some new game support for it. We've also got some new game support for Horizon Forbidden West. I've just got myself Horizon Forbidden West, the complete edition, and I'm also playing Alone in the Dark, so they'll be the title games for this review. So we'll see how the drivers perform with Horizon Forbidden West. Alright, and last but not least, we've got some new game support for Outpost Infinity Siege. So not too sure about that one, but there's some new game support for it as well. Alright, next up on the new feature highlights, we have some expanded hypertune support for a couple of titles, which include Dragon's Dogma 2, Diablo 4, Ghost Runner 2, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So head over to your HyperRx section in your drivers and you can tune up these games with a little bit more support, so that's good to see. And that's going to do it for the new feature highlights. Obviously there hasn't been much in the way of feature highlights because we've had all those features migrate from the preview drivers into the mainline drivers in 2024, so we've got a whole bunch of features. So it's going to consist of like HyperRx, frame generation, and FSR stuff for the foreseeable future, I would imagine. And speaking of that, AMD announced that FSR 3.1 is coming, guys. FSR 3.1 is going to have some really exciting features. So AMD is saying that there are improved image quality improvements, improved temporal stability at rest and in movement, less flickering and or shimmering, and fizziness around objects and motion. So that's really good. That's one of the big criticisms of FSR. I reckon XeSS has even taken a step above FSR 3, so they've announced this at the right time, AMD. They're reducing ghosting as well, and there's better preservation of details, so that's really exciting. They're also decoupling FSR 3 from frame generation. This will allow FSR 3.1 frame generation technology to work with other upscaling solutions. So they're talking about NVIDIA frame generation and XeSS frame generation, which is really exciting news. I'm really happy that that's happening because that gets FSR into the hands of more gamers. And they've also got a new API for Fidelity FX that will help developers in implementing it in games. So hopefully we'll see FSR 3.1 in lots more games. Alright guys, let's get back into the Adrenalin drivers, but before we do, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching the videos, liking and subscribing. If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed, get subscribed, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and watching the videos really helps me out. So thank you, big hello to all our new subscribers, and thanks for making Computer Games Hardware a cool little community. We're having some good fun around here, so thanks to you all. Alright guys, let's get stuck into the fixed issues. First up, we have excessive micro stutter may be intermittently experienced after enabling AMD fluid motion frames for select games. Lots of fixes for micro stuttering in the last couple of weeks. I wish I could fix my micro stuttering in my voice, so apologies for my ums and ahs and all my mumbling, guys. I'm trying to work on it in 2024, so AMD, if you have the code for that, give it to old Dan here. Next up, we have some improvement to intermittent driver timeouts for application crash experience while playing Helldivers 2 on Radeon RX 7900 series GPUs. So there you go. They've added some improvements to Helldivers like they said they would in the previous drivers, so that's good to see. Third on the fixed issues list, we have intermittent application crash or driver timeout may be observed while playing StarCraft 2 on Radeon RX 7000 series GPU. So that was another issue that they're fixing. So you'll recall in the previous drivers we had a long list of known issues. So AMD have certainly worked on that. Alright, next up we have improvements to reduce initial loading times while playing World of Warcraft with DirectX 12 APIs on some AMD graphics products such as the Radeon RX 6800. So even looking after StarCraft, and I mentioned last time that I'm pretty chuffed that they're still adding support for StarCraft. So you know, bit like us old gamers, they're still looking after the old boys playing StarCraft. So that's really good to see. Purple corruption may be observed while playing Dying Light 2 Stay Human Reloaded Edition with Radeon Boost and ray tracing enabled. Next up, we have some characters may appear invisible or have missing textures while playing Cossacks 3. So I don't remember that being on the previous driver issues, but that's been fixed for that game as well. Flickering lights may be observed while playing Space Engineers in certain indoor environments. Wasn't really aware of that one either. They also fixed an issue where the maximum memory tuning limit was incorrectly reported on AMD Radeon RX 79000 GRE products, so that's been fixed. So they've unlocked actually some of the GRE products to get some better performance out of them. They've also fixed an issue where shader caching may fail for Windows users names containing the accented characters. So I was baffled by this one, guys. I can't believe that was an issue that they had to deal with, but it's fixed anyway, so that's good to see. They also fixed an issue where FPS performance metric may incorrectly report values while a game is minimized. So good to see that. And fixed GPU acceleration may be missing or grayed out in Adobe Premiere Pro on some hybrid graphics systems. So that's good to see there. Hopefully they get through some of the issues with a bunch of those hybrid graphics products like APUs and stuff like that. Performance drop may be observed while using some DirectML workloads in Topaz AI. So well, they got through a whole bunch of stuff in the month, and they're bringing these out pretty quick and fast. So they've been pretty consistent over the past couple of months. So let's see if they keep it up. Let's get on to the known issues, guys. So first up, we have an intermittent driver timeout or application crash may be experienced while playing Helldivers 2 on dual monitor setup on some AMD graphics products such as the Radeon RX 7900 XTX. I believe that was a previous known issue that they haven't got to yet. Next up, we have intermittent application crash may be observed while playing Lords of the Fallen and entering certain areas on Radeon 6000 series GPUs. So we've got a target for 24.1.1. So it does look like they are going to be pretty consistently releasing these relatively consistently month by month, because they mentioned the target is for 24.4.1. So good to see. Next up, artifacts may appear in certain mud environments while playing SnowRunner on some AMD graphics products such as the Radeon RX 6800, and similarly the resolution is targeted for the next driver update, so that's good to see as well. Next up, we have AMD Smart Access Video may be incorrectly reported as available on some systems with the Parsec virtual display driver installed, and that target resolution is set for 24.5.1, so they need some time to work on that. And as previously reported, they also have some audio and video may intermittently become out of sync while recording using the AV1 codec in the AMD Software Adrenalin Edition, and the resolution target for that is Q3, so that's some ways a way off. All right, we're almost there, guys. So quite breezy. Good to see that they've fixed a lot of stutterings and fixed a whole bunch of issues. Still a couple of those in big titles like Helldivers, but they're working on it, guys. So hopefully we have some good news in the 24.4.1 drivers. All right, and last but not least, we have some important notes. So first up, and as usual, for users who previously installed the AMD software preview drivers, running AMD cleanup utility is recommended before installing this driver. So you should already be on the vanilla drivers by now. There's a ton of improvements. We had a comment last month on should we upgrade or not. So thanks for your comment, mate. I believe that you should. There's enough features and enough performance that you might be leaving on the table to that it's worth upgrading. So let me know in the comments down below. Are you having any issues? Have you seen the performance boost? And has stuttering been fixed in any of the games you were playing? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, and last but not least, some per game graphics profiles may be incorrectly being set to HyperRX Eco after a driver upgrade. Users experiencing this issue may use the factory reset option to return all profiles to default. Pretty straightforward, nothing new in the important notes, so good to know. Good to see that they have improved some of the stuttering issues. I thought they were done with that, with the number of stuttering issues that they fixed in the previous drivers, but plenty of people were also reporting on Reddit and stuff like that they were still having massive stuttering issues. So maybe they didn't get through everything. So I think we're getting better and better. Performance is certainly looking good these days. I just installed these, guys, so I haven't even had the opportunity to test these drivers out. So we're going to have a look at the performance with a couple of titles. We're going to be looking at Alone in the Dark and Horizon Forbidden West. So I'm going to turn this off right now and get to gaming, and then I will come back and have a look at the performance. Alright guys, so as you can see, not too shabby, running nice and smooth, getting pretty good frames, particularly in Alone in the Dark, and as gorgeous as for Horizon Forbidden West is, and how graphically complex it is, running pretty smooth as well. You know, those titles are both running with FSR 2.1 enabled, but getting pretty good frames. Lots of dips in Horizon Forbidden West, but that's to be expected in a huge game like that. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. I had a really good time making this one. Let me know if you are having any stuttering issues. Are the drivers performing better? Are they meeting your expectations? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I've had a really good time making this one. Hope you've had a good time watching it. I'll keep making them if you keep watching them. And as usual, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.